Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be daily calling, texting, and messaging. I've got an email here from a guy who's 20 years old, and as many of you may have noticed, the younger generation seems to be glued in a perpetual state of looking down at their smartphone, doodling away with their thumbs, and not paying any attention to where they're going or what's going on around them. You may even see them at lunch or dinner at times, and they're just all glued to their little smartphones, not really even interacting with other people. And so this guy has been following my work, and he's basically saying, well, yeah, but I know the phone is for setting dates, Corey, but if I'm not available to call and chit-chat and text all the time, the girl's just going to run off and like some other guy who texts and interacts with her. So I've got a quote that I wrote on this topic, and we're going to go through his email. Because he also acknowledges in his email that if you text too much, the conversation becomes dull and boring. So the quote says, "It's a scientific fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. Women like guys who are mysterious, interesting, and more difficult to figure out, and tend to lose interest in guys who are always available 24/7 to chit-chat, message, and talk on the phone. Men should be busy with their mission and purpose in life, not sitting around waiting to spring into action to be a woman's therapist or digital pen pal when she gets bored. Women need time and space away from a man to understand, contemplate, and grow their feelings of attraction for him. Men should only use the phone, texting, or messaging to set dates, not give out information or to get to know someone. When they violate this principle, they predictably get friend-zoned. Act like her fun, charming, and mysterious lover, not her friend or buddy when your interest is romantic." So this guy, I assume he's read my book, but he's read it and he goes, hey, well, I'm younger, it doesn't really apply to me. So let's take a closer look, shall we? So he says, "Hi, Coach Corey Wayne. This is an interesting topic I always hoped you'd cover in one of your videos. As a young adult, being 20 years old, the generation I've grown up with is much more technologically dependent than older generations. Unfortunately, and I feel this dependency is even more expressed with kids still in high school, although just a couple of years younger than me. My question is, do you feel, when advising people to only use text as a form of contact to make plans, that this may be counterproductive for younger generations under you?" Well, things that I teach in my book, I have clients on every continent and every country in the globe. And the bottom line is, when they violate this principle, it has nothing to do with how old you are. It has everything to do with what women emotionally respond to and what men respond to when they're dating, when they're attracted to one another. And the bottom line is, if you're chit-chatting all the time, you become boring, you become predictable, especially if you're available 24/7. I mean, if I'm at lunch, I might text or WhatsApp with my girl. But if I'm doing phone sessions with clients, I don't stop what I'm doing in the middle of phone sessions and sit there and chit-chat with them on my cell phone. It's rude to the clients, and I'm fucking busy. And at the end of the day, when a woman's wondering what you're doing, where you're at, what you're up to, who you're with, it creates attraction. They like it. I mean, they've done scientific studies on this. Women like men whose feelings are unclear. Now, it has nothing to do with hiding your feelings or hiding your interest. It just means having a busy fucking life, following your mission, following your purpose. If you're meeting with clients, I remember when I was in real estate, I had a guy that was a business partner, and we'd be in a meeting with 20 employees, and right in the middle of the meeting, she'd be calling on his phone, texting on his phone. He would stop what he was doing, even if he was running the meeting in mid-sentence, to talk to his wife. Is it an emergency? And she was very insecure, very needy, and she kept calling back. And this particular guy had cheated on his wife a number of times, so you can understand why she was insecure and needy about that. But, I mean, I finally just said to him, I was like, dude, we're in a fucking meeting, and you're running the meeting, and then you sit there and we're all waiting on you, and you spend 3 or 4 minutes chit-chatting with your wife when you're running the fucking meeting. It's like, come on, dude. You need to grow a set of balls and say, honey, I'm in a meeting. I got to call you back. Put the phone on silent. Leave it in your fucking office. Whatever you got to do. It's rude to the rest of us. We all got our lives on hold so we can sit here and listen to what you got to say. And then we're sitting there watching your needy, insecure wife blowing up your fucking phone. I mean, come on, dude. This guy was like 35, 40 years old at the time. It's like, hello. I mean, the bottom line is a man should be busy with his purpose and mission in life. If you're busy with clients, you should be focused on your client. If you're busy working, you should be focused on that. If you're in the middle of something, unless it's obviously an emergency, you get back to them when you can. And the bottom line is it has a positive effect on their attraction. Just the not knowing where they stand with you. Wondering when you're going to call back, if you're available, what you're up to. Women like that. Think about it. Feminine energy is all about bonding, connecting, opening up to receive love. And the more a woman's attraction level for you grows, and I discuss this in my book, the more of your attention she is going to want. They want your attention all the fucking time. And if you're constantly giving it to them, if they text you at 3 in the morning and you wake up and you chit-chat, and then you go back to sleep and you're always available no matter what, and then you're talking constantly on the phone, or you're constantly messaging or chatting through messaging apps, what's the point of getting together in person? She already knows everything that's been going on in your life. You're not going to be mysterious that way. She's going to get bored with you, and you're going to get bored with her. That's why it's healthy, even if you live together. If the guy is off running his business, working on his career, they can think about each other and wonder about each other during the day. And then that way when they come home at night, hey, honey, how was your day? They have something to talk about. But if they're constantly texting all throughout the day, sending dozens and dozens of messages, you're 20 years old, so you're young. So it's understandable. You're in high school. You don't have a fucking job. You go to school. You're in school. You're hiding your phone from the teacher so she can't see it. Chit-chatting away with other friends that may be in another classroom somewhere, sending pictures back and forth, messages, whatever it happens to be. That's understandable. When you become an adult and you have a fucking life and you have a business or you have a busy career, think about it. If you're a successful actor and you're on a movie set, and you're in the middle of filming, you're not going to be sitting there fucking chit-chatting with somebody. You're fucking busy. If a guy's in the military and he's out on patrol, he's got to keep his fucking head on a swivel, otherwise somebody's going to take it off. He doesn't have time to sit there and fucking chit-chat or when they're rolling around. They got too many things to be focusing on. It's common sense when you think about it, but if you're constantly chit-chatting, it's boring. It's repetitive. There's nothing exciting. Why get together in person? And I don't care what country people are from. When I see guys violate this principle, no matter where they're from, women get bored and they get disinterested. Think about it like the cat analogy that I've used many times and I talk about in the book. What does a cat do when it gets bored? It leaves to go find something else to entertain it. But when the cat's curious, and you ever hear the expression, curiosity killed the cat? Well, it's much better if women are curious about you and what you've been up to. They're interested in you. They want to know. They want your attention, and they're trying to get it. And yes, it's kind of frustrating at times when they try to get a hold of you and you're busy, but it builds sexual tension. But if you're talking all the time, the sexual tension and their feelings and chemistry never have a chance to develop. I learned this from a woman. I learned this from a girlfriend of mine that I wrote about in the book. I learned it from her and her mother. She explained this to me, and it made total sense. And when I followed it, it worked. And when I didn't follow it, my girlfriend got fucking bored. She was busy. She took her time returning my calls. But when I followed what she told me to do and what her mother told me to do, because they both liked me and they both wanted me to be together with her daughter, it fucking worked. I learned this from a woman, and this girl was very fucking beautiful. And she had guys all the time throwing their dicks at her because she's fucking smoking hot. So you can ignore the things that I teach and think that it doesn't apply to you because you're younger. But at the end of the day, if you're chit-chatting incessantly, you're going to turn her off. It's going to get bored. And if you always, when you start dating somebody, you keep the phone for strictly setting appointments and setting dates, you never get her in the habit of chit-chatting all the time. If she wants to chat with you, you should be doing it together in person where you can look into her eyes and you can kiss her and you can hold her and you can make love to her. You can't do that over a phone. If you do, you'll just end up becoming one of her gay male girlfriends. or one of her friends, or her emotional tampon, or somebody that she reaches out to when she's bored and complains that she can't ever get a hold of this guy that she really likes and it's driving her crazy. Just the way it is. I didn't make women this way. I'm just telling you and teaching you the way they are and what works. If you don't want to apply it, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to help people that want to be helped. It's like Ayn Rand said, you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And a lot of guys make the mistake. They initially start texting with a girl and they're available all the time, and then she gets bored and disinterested. Then they find out about my work and then they back off. And now since the girl is totally used to them chit-chatting and texting all the time, I've done videos on this topic as well, she gets pissed off when he's not available 24/7. She thinks he's playing games with her. Even if he gets busy, maybe he got a new career, maybe he got a new job, maybe he started a new business. He doesn't have all that time on his hands. If you're 20 years old and you have plenty of time to chit-chat and talk, you need to take up some hobbies. You need to go to school, or maybe you need to go out and get a fucking job. Time to grow up and be a fucking man. He says, I ask this because I feel that nowadays, especially girls, love to have text conversations that you'd find useless about merely nothing just to talk. Again, that's why you get together in person and you set a date. You can't make love to her over the phone. I mean, yeah, you can have phone sex, but it's much better to feel the friction in person. Because otherwise, I mean, it's fucking glorified masturbation. Why not have... Ain't nothing like the real thing, baby. He says, due to this new age of constant, worthless communication between people for the pure sake of communication, I feel when I use texting only to make plans and not to just talk with younger women, they lose interest quicker because they're so used to holding text conversations with the people in their lives. Again, this is just your fear. You're learning something new from me that is completely contrary to the fact that you're fucking glued to your cell phone. You're addicted to it. And if you act in way, I mean, you get a job and you start working for an employer in the real world and he sees you fucking texting all the time, you're going to get fired. They hire you to work, not sit there and fucking chit-chat all day long with your friends or a girl you're dating. That's the reality. It's time to put your fucking big boy pants on and grow the fuck up. Get a life, get a fucking purpose, get some hobbies, go to the gym, take care of yourself. Go to school, get a fucking job, build a company. Do something. Women like guys who have goals and ambition and are trying to achieve something in life. The problem I realize, however, is that too much texting between my significant other and myself leads to boring, unentertaining talk, lowering her interest level. Duh. On one hand, you're basically saying, I want to keep calling and texting her all the time. On the other hand, it's a fucking boring conversation. So why even get together in person? You're completely bored. You know everything that's been going on with each other. What the hell are you going to talk about in person? I mean, think about it. However, vice versa, too little communication through text seems to lead to the same results. I suspect this to be the case because since she can just text any other guy to entertain her throughout the day, and because I'm not communicating with her as much as the next guy, I get slowly pushed out of her life. You should be spending time together in person. When a girl reaches out, she's thinking about you. She's missing you. You assume she wants to see you. Again, that's something I teach in the book. So get together and do something fun in person. If she's doing something fun in person with you, she's not going to be texting other guys. But if you're dating this girl and she's your girlfriend, she's texting other guys, she doesn't belong in your life as your girlfriend. She could be a fuck buddy or a sex playmate, friends with benefits, whatever you want to call it, somebody to have an open relationship with. That's a no-no. I wouldn't put up with that behavior. If this is somebody that's your girlfriend and she's texting other guys because she's bored, you're either not spending enough time or the girl has no integrity. If you're not spending enough time, I mean, you can't grow attraction unless you do it in person. It's just like in sales. You sell people in person. That's why when you call a car dealership and ask them about their vehicles and what their prices are and their options and what colors they got on the lot, they go out of their way to try to get you to come in to the dealership. Why is that? Because unless you come into the dealership, you're just a fucking tire kicker. You're not a serious buyer. You're a time waster. And salespeople want to be talking to people who are interested in buying. And so if a girl reaches out, make a fucking date. It's as simple as that. He says, your advice has helped me tremendously, and I think it'd make a fantastic response video to this question. Well, again, doesn't matter how old or how young you are. Young guys, old guys, I mean, you even admit yourself, when you text constantly on the phone, she gets bored. When you don't text enough, she gets bored as well. That tells me you're not spending enough time together in person. Make a fucking date. Your job as a man is to create an opportunity for sex to happen. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. It's that simple. And if you're busy and a girl starts texting other guys behind your back because she's fucking bored, well, you need to look for another girl, dude. Don't put up with that fucking shit. There's too many women out there. Now, women that do that, to keep several male orbiters in the background, are fucking immature. They don't care about loyalty. They don't care about being faithful. It doesn't mean jack shit to them. Doesn't mean you can't have a lot of fun with them, but if you're looking for a girlfriend, somebody to be exclusive with, or to have an exclusive monogamous relationship, that ain't the kind of person that is capable of being loyal, communicating with you in a healthy way, and focusing on your relationship. She's just focusing on getting her needs met because she's a little selfish, a little narcissistic. When women exhibit that behavior, they can be friends with benefits, and that's it. They're not girlfriend material, and that's just the way it is. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.